basically a prototype is just a proof of concept, right? I mean, if you need to de-risk any technical risks, that's when you make a prototype. Basically, you would make it so that you can prove the feasibility of your concept itself and also get feedback from various stakeholders, right? And refine the product, refine the idea itself. But if you, from there, you want to get to a software product that is production ready, right? There are various other attributes that you have to fill in. Like the product has to be scalable, it has to be available, it has to be secure, it has to be performant, it has to be maintainable, because while you're running the application, if there are any issues with it, right, you should be easily able to fix them without affecting a large without a major refactoring, right? It has to be extensible so that it can integrate with other applications and services. It has to be easy to operate. Not only that, right? Once you launch a product, and you'll certainly launch the next version and the next version and next version, right? You have to design in backward compatibility with users using the earlier versions, but also it has to be easy to integrate with our other applications and services, right? And most importantly, the end user should be able to use it. I mean, usability becomes a big thing, right? And normally a prototype is demonstrated by a technical person. So you follow the happy path and everything works fine. But when you put the same product in the hands of a user, it's unpredictable how they are going to use it, right? So it has to be robust, basically. And you have to build in features like if there is any problem in the service itself or the application itself, things like you have to gracefully downgrade, right? In terms of functionality, you have to give the user feedback, all of these things, right? And eventually, it also has to be traceable. I mean, users obviously, hey, my email is missing, right? You have to be able to, if you're an email application, you have to be able to trace it, right? All of these, customer support and everything else, has to be built into the application. So normally what happens in software as opposed to a hardware, you can differentiate between a model, for example, a model of a building versus the actual building, and you immediately understand the complexity of that transition. But in software, you already get the app in your phone. Let's say it's a phone app, right? You already get it, and it looks like the core functionality is already there. So people underestimate the effort and the complexity of launching a productized version of the same prototype. And usually it becomes a rush. Hey, it's already there. 80% of it is there. The rest of it is only 20%. But just like the 80-20 rule, right? The prototype is hardly like 5 to 10%. The entire thing comes in later, as a matter of fact. And if you underestimate that and rush through the process, you eventually get to a place where you're always almost ready to launch, but never launching. So having a team that is conversant with all of these, attributes, all of these aspects, and that has already been there, done that on various other products, that helps you actually understand the process very well and plan it accordingly and have a successful launch.